Okay, so this is going to be game number 4, Quora versus IBM on the B team. Series is currently 2-1 in Quora's favor. So if Quora wins this game, the series is over. If IBM wins, it'll be tied 2-2, and we'll go to the 5th and deciding ace match. It's going to be on Quora Hall City. This is a 4-spawn map, and I guess the defining feature of this map is that you get a free natural. It almost looks like it should be a 2-player team map, just because you've got a natural that's like literally right next to your main. So pretty much every race can fast expand on this basically. Are we going faster speed? Almost looks like the SCVs are mining slowly, but maybe that's just my perception. I'm actually going to check that real quick. Maybe it's not going to show it to me because I didn't change it. Yeah, is this? I really wonder if this is the normal game speed. I don't know. Let's just assume it is. Maybe I'm just seeing things. Anyway, so, sorry about that. In the top here, we have Shatterhand is going to be the red Terran for Team Quora. And spawning on the left side, we have the blue Protoss Atomic Update for Team IBM. Both players are scouting in the wrong direction. Atomic Update is following the principle that players always scout clockwise, and Quora is choosing to fight that scouting counterclockwise. This is a very rare play out of our Terran player. For some reason, statistically speaking, scouting is always done clockwise. I don't know why, that's just what always happens. Shatterhand is owning with a Rax here, gasless so far. I am a Zerg player, so unfortunately my insight into the Terran versus Protoss matchup is largely anecdotal. Sorry if I say something stupid. 1 gate and a gas coming down for the Protoss player. I think in this matchup, generally it is not safe to super fast expand. Maybe this map being the exception. Oh, this is interesting. I wonder if Atomic Update misclicked here and he meant to click up in the main but instead went into the third, or if he is dropping some sort of proxy back here. Might be looking to put down an early pylon. Obviously not a proxy 2 gate because he's already got a gate in his main, and he is playing just conventional into Cybercore. He knows that Shatterhand is up here because he scouted the other 2 places and he wasn't there, so barring any sort of Terran liftoff shenanigans, he knows exactly where he's at, so I can only assume that's just for a proxy, but it's interesting that he would choose not to scout at all. I guess maybe he thought that late in the game, you know, he wasn't going to get it anyway because the Marine would be out. Shatterhand is checking to see if it was Nexus first or anything, sees there's no expansion here, and sees that the Protoss player looks very standard. 1 gate into Cybercore, gateway research coming down, and second gas timing looks pretty normal there. Chrono Boost going into the gateway research. So this could imply some sort of early aggression. Could be seeing 4 gate pressure, could be seeing 3 gate robos. Probe is going to try and sneak in. Wow, actually Shatterhand could have picked off that probe there. Chose not to. Looks like Shatterhand is positioning here to put down a command center, so 1 Rax into an expand. Now the confusing thing here is he went double gas. So I don't know if this was a mistake or just a change in plans. I would tend to vote mistake because I think if it was a change in plans, he might have pulled his SCVs out of gas. And see, he just put down that factory and spent 100 gas, but he was up to 250 gas, and he literally doesn't have anything to spend it on. He's going to throw down this reactor. I mean, this is just a lot of gas for this early in the game. He could maybe be following this up with the 111 and trying to do, like, cloaked Banshee shenanigans. That can be pretty powerful against a Protoss player just because they took away the detection off the mothership core. So unless they have cannons down or they're going for a fast robo, which, as we see here, player is. Where did this come from? This stalker must have walked all the way over. Did that stalker? Yeah, he killed all 3 of those Marines without taking any hull damage. And yeah, Shatterhand is actually in a bit of trouble here. Taking this really early command center and choosing to only pump out 3 Marines. Oh, but the stalker gets surrounded. Atomic Update was not paying attention. He's going to do a lot of damage here, though. He's already killed the 3 Marines, and it looks like he's gotten 4 workers so far. Doesn't quite get a 5th. So 3 Marines and 4 SCVs, and those mules were pulled as well. which is pretty bad for Shatterhand. That's a lot of lost mining there. Smiley face coming into CSKO. If you like that little poke. Nexus is coming down behind that, adding on 3 more gates. So we'll be 3-gate robo into an expand. Mothership core is out, and an observer is also out here. So Atomic Update is going to be able to keep an eye on what Shatterhand is doing. And he did indeed throw down a proxy probe there. It looks like Warp Gate is finished up. Only 1 gate up here. So this will be nice. I mean, when the 3rd starts or lands, he can warp in Zealots to try to deny that. If there's pressure, he can warp in a couple of Zealots to try and do a counter. That sort of thing. We are seeing a 1-1-1 on a Shatterhand here. He did do a tech lab on the factory, so we'll see if he starts any tanks. Yeah, okay, so the tech lab, actually switching the barracks onto the tech lab. Interesting choice there. I thought maybe the tech lab was going to be for the starport, so he could do some fancy harass. But it looks like he's probably going to start up stim here. Maybe. I'm sorry, I haven't had the production tab open this whole time. So starport is moving out of the reactor. I don't know if he saw the robotics bay coming down and knew that he was going to need Vikings to deal with the Colossus soon. Let's check here. Did he? No, actually he hasn't seen anything after that initial worker scout. Maybe he just assumes that Colossus will be coming out eventually here, which is generally a safe assumption. Terran player looks like he's going to be playing bio, adding on 3 more barracks and adding on single engineering bay. Still no stim research started at that tech lab. Probably needs to get that going pretty soon. Oh, okay, yeah, medevac production instead of Viking production. So we'll be able to produce a lot of bio here. Let's check the worker count. It is 31 SCVs to 37 probes right now on 2 bays to 2 bays. So supply right now is also favoring the Protoss player. So it looks like our Protoss player is a little bit ahead here. He's ahead of the workers. His army, the army for the Terran is only a Marauder and 4 Marines, and the army for the Protoss is only an Immortal and a Stalker. And the Mothership core, I guess, does a fair amount of damage. So 2 reactors coming down on those barracks, 2 tech labs. So it looks like we're going to see very bio-heavy style coming out of the Terran player here. Best counter to the bio style is going to be Colossus and eventually Storm. First Colossus is out. Thermal Lance research is just starting now. Second Colossus is starting. That Chrono Boost is going into the Thermal Lance research. +1/+1 coming out of the Forge. Neither player is really posturing for a 3rd base anytime soon. Saturation is starting to get pretty good on 2 bases for the Protoss player at least. Terran player should continue adding on workers. I guess we'll see where they go. Second engineering bay is coming down. I think we're still on 1 forge for the Terran. Yeah, just a single forge here. So it looks like both players are just massing up an army on 2 bases, and we're fairly passive at the moment. Just a slight supply lead for the Protoss player, slight worker lead for the Protoss player. So overall, fairly even game. I guess I'd say maybe the Protoss player is just a little bit ahead, but I mean it could really swing either way when the engagement starts. Terran player is going to push out with the drop here. I think it was in range of the observer when it loaded up, so I'm not really sure if Atomic Update was watching, and if you saw that, it is going to fly right over this observer, so we'll see if Atomic Update responds and brings anything over to deal with this drop. Yeah, he's actually parked right next to the observer right now. So Atomic Update should see this. Yeah, he's bringing 1 stalker over to try and shoot it down, warping in a couple more stalkers. Yeah, so he sees it. So Shatterhand might choose to just leave that there for a while and wait till there's a distraction and a fight, and then drop in the main and try and do damage that way. Worker count is 59 to 53, again, just continuing to slightly favor the Protoss player. Look at, how do we do that army size thing? I don't remember. Somebody can bring up, oh, is it M? Oops, nope, that's easy. Anyway, so we'll just look at this tab, worker count here. So Protoss player getting a fairly balanced army. He's doing Stalker Zealot, does have a few Colossus out, and a Warp Prism. And so he's going to pull this Warp Prism around to the natural, and it looks like he's going to poke at the front door with the Zealots and the Colossus. leaving the stalkers home to deal with the drop if it happens. He's added on quite a few gates here, so I like Atomic's position here. He's got observers, you know, he sees exactly what the Terran player has in his main. He sees this drop here. Yeah, in fact, he's tired of waiting for this drop. He's going to move these stalkers around to poke away at this medevac. Bringing the warp prism back too, I guess. Yeah, this is the danger. Oh, is he going to... Oh, he does get it. Very nice pickup there. That evens the supply up. So, we'll see here. He's got these 3 Colossus and these Zealots stationed out front. The problem is, there's enough Vikings here to deal with these 3 Colossus. 6 Vikings can do quite a bit of damage, and here's the push out. These Marines do have stim finished. They are +1 attack and 0 armor. The armor just finishing, and 4 more Vikings on the way. He must have double reactored starport. So if he waits for these 4 Vikings, Atomic Update could be in a lot of trouble here. He can't deal with this. Yeah, he needs to go right now. Stalkers need to focus down those Vikings. Microing back the Colossus. Very nice. 1 Colossus falls instantly. Second one's taking a lot of damage. Does go down. Third one's getting away for now. Stalkers, the Marine ball got cleaned up. Stalkers are starting to clean up these Vikings. Don't have Blink. Blink's only about halfway done, so can't blink under there. More Stalkers are coming out now and should clean this up. So nice exchange there for Atomic Update. That puts him about 25 supply, 35 supply in the lead now. So very good there. Still neither player taking a third base. Just 2 base to 2 base here. It looks like we're going to have another engagement. That single Colossus that was left is rejoining the party here. Looks like another one's about to pop. Blink is finishing up. Looks like +2 just finished up. So we've now got 2-1 Protoss against just 1-0 Terran here. And there is a timing window of about 40 seconds where that's going to matter. A lot of Vikings here, but there's only 1 Colossus. So it looks like Atomic Update's just going to let that Colossus fall. He knows it doesn't really matter now that the Marines have melted. So Vikings are all pretty useless, and now Atomic Update is doubling the supply of the Terran. So there's a bunker here. It's currently empty, but this is looking promising. DT warping in the back of the base. Oh, I completely missed that. Very nice. Thank you, Variance. Yeah, so he brought that warp prism around, and warping in DTs. That's a lot of dead SCVs. 33 workers killed. So now Shatterhand is in a lot of trouble here. He is down almost 100 supply. Army is pushing at the front. DTs are just mopping up the worker line. And I think this is game. I don't see any way he can come back from this. No drops. Nothing else is countering here. All these buildings are going to get cleaned up. 53 workers killed so far. 55 workers killed. And there's the GG. So IBM ties it up 2-2, and we will go to the ace match.